Hear me? If you can either stand up or come to the front, it will be useful so that I can see you also clearly. Is everybody here? Sometimes upstairs people, they just trickle down. I hope everybody is here. So I just would like to start uh, with a bit of a sad moment and a memory of one of our dear colleagues, Anand Kumar, who used to be with us in Pollachi in the Montlis project. I was with him, I think, about a year ago when I visited Pollachi, which is about a couple of hours driving from Coimbatore. Uh, Pollachi uh, is a village town where we have our programs of Montlis, and Anand was leading it. And I'm told that even the night before his death, in the morning, which is I think it happened first week of June, if I'm not mistaken. He had a lengthy conversation uh, uh, that night before about the close of this project. In fact, Montreal's project, the first phase, was who's on the phone here? If you could just cut off the phone, please. Uh, can I have everybody's attention, please? And he was on a phone conversation with Sudhir about the closure, and the closure happened, I think, day before yesterday in Coimbatore when Michelle and others had gone down from here. So Arun had a heart attack and suddenly died at 6 a.m. in the morning, uh, leaving behind his wife as well as a mother who were completely dependent on him. And we don't have an insurance for this, so he's not covered. So I'm trying to reach out to as many as possible. I think there would be a mail that would go out from HR to the rest of the organization. And if you feel compelled and convinced that Arun's family should be supported, and well, I think he should be supported. As many as uh, who would feel that way should contribute it. So a mail would come to you and do respond to that. Uh, can we have a 1 minute silence, just remembering him and the family? All right. I think it's the first time that we are losing one of our colleagues uh, as in Save the Children India. It's not good to lose people whom we work with regularly, and then suddenly they are gone. That's definitely a sad thing that has happened, and our heart goes out to his closest family members. Okay, welcome to today's team T with TWT. What is that? We change it to T with T with DT. So it could be TWTT if you wanted. Too many T's out there. Before I start, I would like to really probably just comment on what's happened to our country. Some of those deeply buried pains that happened during our partition and so on are suddenly coming out, suddenly popping out, which is not good for us, which is not good for us as a country, where our people mostly lived in harmony and so on. Suddenly, because you wear a skull cap and travel in a train, the young old, this fellow was 15 years old, he was attacked and he was killed. And that shouldn't happen. That is barbaric coming from any political leanings. And whether it happens to any side of the political leanings. What has happened is barbaric, and we cannot be mute spectators to what is happening around our country. Whatever we can do as an organization, whatever we can do as individuals, should raise our voice and let our voices be heard wherever it has to be heard when things like this are happening, because this is this is foreboding of something more ominous and terrible things to happen. So I would do whatever I can around me, but whatever I should be doing to talk against such formations and such barbaric acts from happening. So that is just a comment from me, without any political persuasions. But when we know that managerial principles are broken, we should be speaking out whoever it is against. Uh, Last month has been a very interesting month, because I traveled quite a bit last month. Uh, Also, there are a couple of things that happened which I would like to bring your attention to. One is, again, I think you would have received an All India mail which I sent out. The Uttarakhand government felicitated us as perhaps the only NGO in helping Uttarakhand to become an open defecation free state, ODF state. Isn't that wonderful that we got a mention there? And Avinash was called there, and the ministers, he got an award there. So it's wonderful, wonderful that Uttarakhand it's not even big work. I mean, the large work is it's a small bit of no, it's actually it's substantial work. It's a stop diarrhea program that's happening there, which is the regular piece of program. So congratulations to that team under Avinash, that is DSPO. Then the other thing, I don't think it has come to you, it's probably a couple of days back, I got a mail forwarded by Rajesh, Dr. Khanna, and his team, Dr. Anand Sashi, they are all here? Or I don't see them here, they are always out the field. Rajesh is there. Okay. The program that we've been doing on saving newborn lives, SNL, in Bihar, along with CARE, on working on the infections of the newborn. And one of the things that that we have done in Saharsa, which got adopted by the government of India, it's again about gentamicin injections, and we said that it is not enough to have ANMs involved in it. We should also have ASHA workers and doctors, and then we send this work to the government of India Health Ministry, and they have sent out a circular adopting this as a process. That's wonderful. Again, congratulations to that team. This is exactly what Save the Children should be doing. Can we fix the problems across the country of every issue? We cannot. Can we be service providers, building schools or hospitals? And how many can we do? We cannot. But if we can create evidences at the ground level and take it up and scale it up and advocate that at the right places, and that becomes a larger practice, and in this case, a larger country practice, that is exactly what we call as a theory of change. And so congratulations to that team, and we would like to see many more of such programs that are happening across the country. So wonderful again to hear about this, and it is so wonderful when you travel. I'll just come to my travel. Before that, I would like to make some other announcements. One is some good practices that we are embarking upon. One is HRIS. How many of you know what HRIS is? Okay, so what exactly are you doing on HRIS at the moment? Have you been? How many of you gone through that? Was it a training, one day or a half a day workshop on HRIS? I would like you to pay attention to that, because that is going to make our lives much simpler. We are going to adopt and align ourselves with some of the world's best practices And HRIS is as systems go, it is um, it is a Oracle system, and what we are currently doing is updating all our leave cards, etc. We have this archaic way of capturing the leave records on a card. In this day and age, we should be doing that. Now that is all going on to the system, and HRIS will soon be followed by travel expenses. Of course, travel expenses, whether it is physically that you're filling your travel expense forms, or you put it electronically, but you still need to do it on time. If you don't do it on time, after 4 or 5 months, if you get the bills, it will be very difficult to process it. It will create problems for the finance people, especially now when the books are closed. We still get January, February bills. That's not all. We need to be more efficient than that. I know all of us are very busy and you don't have time. If you don't have time, sometimes you will lose money, because that will be the situation. But anyway, HRIS will make life simpler. So we're going to have the leave updation followed by travel expense, and then we'll have all your profiles residing there. Then we will have things like recruitment. There will be an e-recruitment module on that. That is a little later, but initially these are the 2-3 things that are going to happen. And so pay attention and start working on it. Try to understand how we do that, and it will be extremely, extremely useful. So that brings me to that brings me to a couple of other things that happened this month. As I said, I traveled quite a bit. There was this event in Mumbai where I think again first week of June, we had a GSK, GSK, GlaxoSmithKline, an company that we work with globally as well as in India. We have some program work that's happening near Bangalore, a place called what is that, gold mines area? Kolar in Mysore. And I saw some excellent work. I think I've commented on that before. I'm not going to comment on that. But globally, we instituted an award for innovation. And it was a global award. And this time it was won by an Indian woman and an organization called Arman. And the woman who won it, the one who leads it, her name is Aparna Hegde, a medical doctor trained at Stanford, and came to and also trained at the Zion Hospital of Mumbai. Very interestingly, started a very simple methodology to reach out to young women, that is adolescent women, pregnant women, lactating mothers, and under 5 mothers. Simply giving them telephone calls. Across the country, they started reaching out to these group of people and telling them what is to be done. If you're a expecting mother, what are the things need to be done, how many prenatal checkups you should have, whether you have enough folic acid, whether you have enough iron, whether your hemoglobin is down, your BP is high, blood sugar is high. Simply saying that look, these are things that you need to get tested. And that is a model that she adopted, and then she reached out to 1 million people, 1 million young women, mothers, lactating ones, adolescents, and so on. And so we gave her an award along with GSK, and that was the first week of January, and also, June. And that was actually followed, and we had our ambassador, who is our celebrity ambassador in Mumbai, Dia Mirza. She was there, and then followed by that, I think a couple of days later, the Maharashtra government adopted what we started with NCPCR, which is the SOP for street children, and also starting street children identity. Interestingly, and that is now spreading to other states. I don't know if you have seen, there was this picture on our Facebook. We had Rita Bahuguna Joshi, who is the Minister of Women and Child in the largest state of India, Uttar Pradesh, doing exactly the same thing, actually announcing that the adoption of this module on on the SOP for street children they have adopted. And I was in Calcutta sometime last couple of weeks back, and I went and met the chairperson for the SCPCR, that's a state commission chair, and easily they also said, we'll do it. Tell us what to do, we'll do it. So we already have, and Delhi we started. So we have now 3 or 4 states up and running with that. I think that's again some fantastic news. And on travel, I traveled this time to Mumbai. I traveled to West Bengal. I visited the city of joys, two two important slums, which was in Ward 58 and Ward 65. These are horrible places to visit, and sometimes I feel it is worse than Delhi slums. I don't know, it could be worse than Mumbai, maybe it's the same, what I've seen in Romandi. But situation is difficult. We have extensive work going on in this urban area, both on DRR as well as on stop diarrhea. So I was just wondering, looking at those slums which are low-lying areas, when rains come, probably it's already flooding in those slums. Whatever gains we have made by telling them what to do in terms of sanitation, use of toilets, etc., will completely be washed away by the floods, because it is terrible. During the floods, if their houses are flooded, what sanitation is left. So we need to do something about that. And I also went to, oh, you're seeing some pictures behind there. Okay. So I also went to these 2 slums, and the next day I went to Assam. And Assam is an eye-opener. I know it's a tier 2 state for us. And how many of you know anything about the tea gardens of Assam? How many of you been there? You've been there to the tea gardens of Assam. Sometimes we have this romantic notions of plantations. Even I had, because in my growing up days, I've been to Munnar and tea plantations where we had access to and enjoyed such wonderful, wonderful times there. But tea plantations in Assam is a different story. 20% of the population of Assam, that is 6 million people out of 30 million population of Assam, live in tea gardens. They are workers to the tea gardens. And it's almost like state actors. When I say state actors, they have this 1951 Act of the Plantation Act, which is all across India, which gives a lot of freedom to the plantation owners to run schools or medical facilities or look after the welfare of the people who are in there. And it's still stuck in 1951 in many plantations. It's so terrible. It is so horrible. Last night I was watching this film, which was again very moving and touching, and touched some parts of me. It is called 12 Years Slave. If you can just pick that movie up and see it, it's interesting, because it's about the black people who were kidnapped and were brought from parts of the world, but as well as people who are well settled in New York and in Washington were being kidnapped and sent to plantations in the South. And once you are in those plantations, they are all black people, and they stay there forever. It was at the time, it's about 1850s we are talking about. Things have much changed, but things haven't much changed as well in many parts of the US if you travel for the black people. And suddenly connected. This is also a plantation story where people cannot even go out. They just live on the mercy of the plantation owners. We need to do something. We need to find some money to go there. If Assam State, the infant mortality is 55, infant mortality, that is 55 per thousand, compared to All India infant mortality today sitting at 37. 37 is the infant mortality all India. Assam State has got 55. And this district where I went to, it's not the headquarter, but it's a place called Tejpur. The district is called Sonapur or something like that. Sonipur. Sonipur. Anybody from Assam here?
Avinash.
Avinash is here, right? Am I making sense? Okay. In this area where the tea plantations are, the infant mortality is 61. That's terrible, horrible. Nothing is happening. What is the access to education? Access to education for the initial schools. There is one lower primary school that is there in the plantation. Outside, if they want to have a higher education, they need to walk 8 kilometers. And when it rains, and it was raining when I went there, and you will see, hopefully you'll see some of those pictures as well in Assam. And I really felt terrible for those children. If our mandate is to reach the most marginalized children anywhere in the country or anywhere in the world, they belong to that lot. So we need to reach out in Assam as well. So after that, I went to a place called Jorhat. No, sorry, I didn't. I went to Jodhpur in Rajasthan. It was last week. And Jodhpur is another story where we have huge issues of child marriage. Child marriage in India, again, NFHS 4 data says that we have come down to about 24%. In Rajasthan, it is 35%. 35% of the girls under 18 are married off. Terrible. Again, if you look at the various statistics related to girls, horrible. You know what is the gender ratio in Rajasthan? Guess? 880 girls to 1,000 boys. That's horrible. Where are the girls going? Where are the girls disappearing? And that again brings me to the point here. How many girls are here compared to the boys in this office, NSO? HR would say 45, is that correct? Debate is not there. Who is keeping a track of numbers? 45 to what? 55, right? Is a horrible number. How can we reverse that number? We are doing very well on the SMT, I think. But everywhere. And then if you go down to the states, it's even worse. Our gender ratios are terrible. Okay, our gender ratio in Rajasthan is poor, and the places where we are working, first we went and met the not the block heads, but the block head office, and met the head of the, what is it called, block officer, BDO, block development officer, then there was head of health, head of education, head of police. They were all gathered together to meet us. That was fantastic. I thought, we've got a very good relationship with them. Then I went to the village, met this extremely delightful set of girls who knew everything about how to stop child marriage and so on and so forth. And I also said that if we have this huge problem of gender ratio, that means girls are disappearing at the fetal level and when they are infants. That means they are being murdered both in the womb and outside of it. And that should stop. And we have this stuff called Aman. Lalita Babu, right? What is Aman? Similar stuff, right? Okay. Lalita Babu, I said, have a module on gender ratio and tell them what's happening, how to stop it, how to help PNDT Act become more strong and stuff like that. So that was the last thing that I visited, and so you've seen all the photographs you went through. So there is a video to it. Can we look at the video? What's happening? I got a gold. It was clear then. What's happening? It was running well before, right? Can you just stop it? There's no point in. Where are our famous IT guys? Can you do something about it?
Sure, sir. This can disconnect.
He's looking at you, Shraddha.
No, no. So we have already.
I know CEO's office can fix a lot of things. I'm not sure if they can fix IT. Or is it an administration problem? If it is a computer, it is IT problem. If it is cable, it is administration problem. We will know that yesterday. Okay, these are those young girls, and I am with them. It is raining heavily, and I am trying to say something, which if we can listen, it will be good. Okay, that's it. If you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to take it right now, and whenever the video comes, we will see. But I have said what I wanted to say, and I really want to change the format of TWT. I don't want it to be a boring one-way speech for an hour. It should not be more than 15 to 20 minutes with pictures and so on. But more importantly, I would like to hear from you of what are some of your achievements, successes, and if you have any questions. If you have any questions, if I can answer it, I'll be happy to. If SMT members can, interestingly, I only see Vishal today. Sanali is also here. Okay. If you can answer, we'll be very, very happy to take your questions. Right now. Very good.
Just to make it more inclusive, we have this video, but we can also put it on Workplace, TWT Live.
Sure.
Then everybody can see it live and also ask their questions from across the country.
Okay.
This everything.
By the way, this goes out to all the staff,
Yeah.
but not immediately,
Yeah.
not while I speak. It
That
goes
will be
later.
live.
But
Like what we did in Jordan.
here is a question to you. Is it on YouTube?
No, it's on Facebook. It's on Facebook. No, but yeah.
Is it on YouTube?
We are trying to change that, but yeah.
Because I was told by somebody in West Bengal, don't place, because you say things that you're not supposed to say, which Prime Minister shouldn't hear. And so don't put it on YouTube.
So Workplace is the more.
Workplace, our government has access to. The Big Brother is listening everywhere. So it's an open group. Okay, let's make it a closed group.
Workplace is
Okay. Now increase the volume and go back again. Right from beginning. Right from beginning, can we hear? And the volume also. Is this connected to a mic? Is there a mic? But why is not? Why you can't hear? Can you hear? You can't hear. Okay, can you start from the beginning? Start from the beginning so that everybody.
I drove hard from the tea gardens of Assam. I'm here this morning in Bay School, and with me are these beautiful young children. Actually, they just sang a song which you can hear, and they sang about their situation in here. And if you look at the tea gardens of Assam, 50% of the population are involved in the tea gardens and schools. It's big, and there is a large population. And if you look around, you can see it's a rainy year. And if you look around, you can see a beautiful lush green tea fields. And this lush green tea gardens are also beautifully but terribly camouflages the real situation of the workers as well as children in these gardens. There are, as I said, there are about 6 million of them, and many of them don't go to school. Those who go to school, they drop out about 40% after both complete standard, and there is only a lower primary school here, and if they have to go to the high school, they have to cross a river, and many of them stop their education here. And besides that, there are a lot of children who are coming out from here. The child domestic situations in the cities, even to Delhi. So, when you reach out to that next couple, whatever, team, please remember that behind that beautiful moment that you are enjoying with a cup of tea, there are stories of exploitation across the tea gardens, only in Assam, but wherever they are. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, that's it. Any questions? Good suggestion. We should put it on workplace, these videos. And these days, as I'm saying, I'm going to travel wherever I can. As I said, I went to about 4 places, including DSPO. I spent 4 hours with them. I'll be going next week to Hyderabad, and then I'll be going across to Orissa from there. Now, Noapada. I'll be there, then come back, and then I'll be going to Jorhat and Jammu, and that completes one cycle of my visits to all the state programs, and then the second cycle will soon start after that. One of the things I keep hearing at the ground level is that NSO is disconnected with them. And across, not just SMT. SMT is a problem. They don't see much of SMT except program function. What we would like to see others traveling to these places, making our connect with people, really understanding in what difficult situation our people are working sacrificially. They are there, sometimes day and night. It is hard work there. We need to be reaching out. When we set up a program visit to Delhi, you know how many people subscribed to that visit? We had to give it up because there were only 2 people who wanted to go to the program visit. That is sad, shocking. We need to be out there when that is our work. Sitting around in an office in Delhi is not our work. Of course, we need to support them by sitting here. Paperwork is important. But be out there. Go and see what they're doing. So it's important for you to be connected. That's all, because I'm just carrying their stories back to you. All right. Any other questions? Yes, Ashutosh, go ahead. Anything about anything? After Ashutosh, come to you.
Sir, I have a question on the appraisals.
On the appraisals? Yes. Oh, okay. I thought it was last year sometime.
No.
We did.
So
Still,
it is quite good that some of our staff members do get fined. So it is good. But as per the appraisal systems, it says that they are the role models. So can we know the achievements of the role models so that it becomes the inspiration to all?
To all across.
All across.
Okay. Very interesting questions. You know that we are rated from on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 is the highest exceptional role model, as we're talking outstanding work. So who are these 5 stars or 5 stars? And what have they done to achieve that? Because we say they are role models. Why not? Can we put the 5 raters profiles across and what have they done in the previous year to achieve that? I'm happy to do that. I'm not the one who's given the 5s. It has been done by their supervisors across. Finally, we had a standardization, normalization. Good question. Answer is, I would like to do it if my HR director allows that.
Thank you.
I got to ask him that question. Is he here? Anybody on his behalf get into his big shoes and answer that question? Sangeeta, can we do that?
Absolutely, we can.
Done.
We can ask the supervisors, the line managers who have given that rating to give us a snapshot of the achievements
Of the people.
basis of which we've given them a 5.
Excellent. For the previous year, not for what they did in the last job.
Just the previous year.
We will do that. Okay, promise. Done. Okay. And also send the profile pictures.
Sure.
Okay, good. What else? Good question, Ashutosh. I thought you only. Okay, good. Yes. What's your question?
I have 2 questions.
2. Yes.
Okay. The first one is, we all know how well Anand contributed to the work of the organization and he has been an asset, he had been an asset for us. But by not having an insurance to all those who are associated with us, is a failure on our side to protect the future and the future of the family.
I understand it's a failure. I may want some support here. Maybe Ashutosh can, because Arvind here, one of you can answer that question. Why is life not covered in our insurance?
Actually, last week only I was having a discussion with Sangeeta. And any consultant who goes on the street with a Save the Children logo on him, he should be covered, irrespective of how long he's going to be associated with us.
Sure.
Because accident might happen anywhere.
I agree with you, but I would like somebody who's closer to Arvind or either of you, because both of you have dealt with insurance, even this one.
And see, for the consultants as
He was a consultant, not a Anand Kumar. No, project staff.
The project staff, the organization mandates only for the accident insurance and the health insurance.
Accident and health. But
It doesn't take care of the life.
in other words, if you met with an accident in most of his duty, then that is covered.
Yes.
As well as health. If
Health expenses.
Yes. Meaning it's a treatment in a hospital, that is covered. But unfortunately, if the poor guy dies, like in the case of Anand Kumar, obviously his family is a loser, and we cannot cover that. How much does it cost premium if we have to cover life also?
Life will be a costly.
Okay. Thank you for raising that. We will look at it. We also have certain realities and difficulties. We will look into it and definitely get back to you. You have a supplementary question?
Okay, good question.
Yeah.
Because I had come to you, I think a few days back with a request. Because I don't contribute 1,000 rupees from my salary, because I don't know if I'm eligible to ask this question. But still, if I get an answer, I will be more than happy to contribute more. What happens to the money that each employee or select employee who contributes 1,000 rupees from the salary after your event has had?
So you moved away from Arun.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a different
Anand
question.
Kumar. Now, so the different question is that there are many of us here who are gotten into a salary reduction scheme, and we are contributing on a monthly basis. Where does that money go? Is that the question? Okay. Well, as much as I know, and again, anybody from fundraising or programs could answer that. This goes into our unrestricted pool of funds, and that unrestricted pool of funds are basically going to support all the support work behind the work that we do in terms of reaching out. It also unrestricted funds look at our overheads, look at our salaries, which is not supported by grants and so on. It goes. And now we are also seriously looking at what portion of some of this money can go directly to innovations and programs. And for instance, this year's budget, we have, in the coming 3 years, we have a 1.5 crore budget only for innovations, and that is coming from our unrestricted pool of funds. So it is actually going to unrestricted pool of funds, which will be used as per our wisdom, discussions, etc. And you also can decide every year. Now we are in a stage in which we can assign certain portion of that going to directly to innovative programs. But if you ask where has it gone, it is all there. Has it gone to specifically to some projects, some areas? No. Has it supported overall growth of the organization and its overheads? Yes. In future, will we have more of that money going directly to programs? My answer is yes. Even in this year's budget, we have some of that going directly to programs. But I cannot say that where your 1,000 rupees is gone, because it comes to a pool.
I just clarified that I don't want
Okay, start contributing. That will be a good thing. Here is a challenge to all of you. I think we have very small percentage of your giving on a monthly basis. When I'm going out and reaching out to 4,000, Arun is there? How many donors did we acquire last month? 4,000 regular donors, month after month they are giving. And if we reach out to people outside of us and get those people in, I think all 500 of us should be giving. It is a shame if we are not giving. So I would suggest, recommend that it should come out to you and everybody should give. Everybody should give something. I'm not saying that all of you should give 50,000, but I don't think 500 rupees a month is a big ask, or 300 rupees a month. Something should go for our programs so that we care, all of us do care. So here is a challenge. Maybe some of you new people do not know about this program. I would say that all of us should give. Any other question? You have a solution.
You visit a lot of places and you
Yes.
come up with a lot of emotion and stories behind your visit. So can't it happen that after your visit you give something back to the community that you know? Because, for example, Rohingya, even I visited Rohingya, and there is an evident problem of water. And if after your visit, as a follow-up or gift, if you can give them out of land, you can really help their immediate need. That would be.
Thank you for your suggestion. I think all of us feel emotionally connected when we go and see the programs, and we should be giving. But this suggestion, as a specific suggestion, we'll take. But we'll also ask others, how better we could use the money that we are collecting, and then come back to you and say that that could have more of a visibility to that flow of funds. Every donor would like to know where the money is going. Yes. I see a couple of hands up.
My question is around since you're speaking about Assam. So before I joined SAVE, I worked for a long time in Assam.
Wonderful. Now you are going to be transferred there.
No, my question was, so when I came to SAVE, I saw that Assam was Tier 2. So I just wanted to understand how this process of our internal, I understand it's an internal classification, Tier 1 and Tier 2. So how does it work and why is Assam there?
Why is Assam as Tier 2, not as Tier 1? Is that the question?
And how the
Tier 1,
division
Tier 2?
works?
Maybe I would ask Michelle or Shantanu to take that question. How do we classify Tier 1 and Tier 2?
Okay, we have described this in our strategy document, how the Tier 1, Tier 2, I'm just taking reference from that. The three factors which have taken into consideration, one is at that point of time, what is our programming around that particular geography. A, when programming in the sense there are funding situation, our ongoing projects, our historical presence in that particular geography, those were taken into consideration. A is that the demographic indicators, the socio-economic condition, the demographic indicators around the thematic area we work with. And the third one was our aspiration, what kind of programming based on the situations around funding and the scope of work we can do around all those areas. And these are the critically three indicators we have taken. Assam had a full-fledged state program of this earlier. Unfortunately, we have not been able to continue and maintain the full-fledged state program. And we have an aspiration to take Assam in that way. As Thomas said, a lot of discussions are ongoing around that. So that's the answer we right now have to give.
Yes.
So we have a lot of child champions who've been nurturing for many years and who come and help with our advocacy and campaign efforts also. So I was wondering, because I've heard of these instances where a child champion sometimes needs money for, say, an emergency or school fee or college fee. So I was wondering if there could be a fund for these child champions for emergency purposes.
Yeah. Very much in the thoughts. In fact, there are some people in the organization already directly supporting some of those child champions across. But why not make it, if we have 500 child champions, I don't know how many, can we support them through a fund? We are thinking about it, what are the possibilities of doing that? But at the end of the day, whatever monies that we have is limited to our regular work, and well, this also could become a part of our regular work. But it's a limited resources against competing priorities. So we need to make a call on that. But what your recommendation is good. There are some. I cannot say openly what exactly we are thinking of. There are some possibilities we are seriously looking at to support the child champions. I think it will be a great idea to support many of them. Yes.
I just want to make one point that today is June 30th, and we've had two important grants which are coming to a close today. So one is our work in Jammu and Kashmir, and I'll let Shantanu talk about that for a minute. And the other one is the end of phase 1 of our Mandalay work, which will continue into phase 2. But both of these are substantial achievements where the teams have performed very well. I think Mandalay is one of our largest projects. It has a great impact in 5 locations across 4 states and improving the nutritional education and outcomes of children. And in JMK,
it was one of the most difficult grants. Probably it is a protracted violence going on in Jammu and Kashmir. And significant number of those numbers is not known, not in open news or anywhere in the statistics that the children, those who are protesting on the street against the state of India, they have been fired by Pellet, and they are throwing stones to the security forces. So many of them, as low as of 5 years, I made one of the girls who is 5 years old actually, she got Pellet in her both eyes. So Save the Children support of ECO is reaching out close to 650 such children in the most difficult areas of North Local, where the violence is high strong. Every day there's a killing or police or the army shootout is happening and the fighting the militants. So we started this intervention in the month of August, and the significant risk we had at that point of time of getting a zone of identified as an organization those who are supporting this kind of militant activity. The government has, probably you all know now, is open, people are paid to throw stones in the street. But the reality is something different. So there's an emotion around that. But Save the Children doesn't have that any business with that emotion. We reached out to all those children who have lost their eyes, their vision, and got severe injury. And among them, those who are the most marginalized, we have reached out to them. And despite all challenges, internal challenges as well as, it has been discussed for the more than 10 times in SMT, what kind of strategies should we adopt and how much and all of the SMT members have guided us to how to do that. Initially, we are reaching out to them for medical treatment service provision, not giving them cash. But the donor wanted to give them cash because many of them have sold their lands actually to get their eye care injuries treated. So we have closed that project in the plan 100% Spain A, and B is that the government of Kashmir also supported us, and the local state government supported us to that. They are replicating some of the practices we have done. The government of Kashmir is also planning to reach out to many of the children who have been affected by that, and we have achieved the commitment also. All those 670 children we have reached out. We have a plan to continue our engagement with them. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. All right. I think we need to close now. Close with the fantastic information. Can you believe what that would be? Exactly the same day, 2 years ago, something happened. What happened? Yes? You joined. Okay. Apart from that, we moved to Gurugram office. This office exactly 2 years today. And people who have visited this office in the last 2 years, including Diana Myers, who was here last week, she said, what a wonderful office. What energy. Of course, energy is also not just the office look, but also provided by the people. So I'm so happy that we had a wonderful existence in the last 2 years here. I know that sometimes you don't find space. That is also a part of the game. It is fun to finding your space in the morning and so on and so forth. So great. And you also have some great people here. In fact, I've had lunch with some of the new joinees. Some of them were not available. But they are such smart bunch of people and beautiful people, including men. Great. I had great lunch with them. And I think our organization is really going places because we have all of you. So thank you. And the important one, a key award. Shraddha will come and announce the. Shraddha, you like come up.
Yes. So I'm going to try and reach out to Deba was last month's Eggie winner, and I'm going to reach out to someone who's nominated this time. I might test.
Interestingly, this time, after the award being out there in the program areas for quite some time, it's actually coming to a central function. One of them. So if you can get through to that person.
I'm just trying to dial her so that she can hear the applause when I announce the name. Hello?
Yeah, Shraddha, hi.
Hi, Amalia.
Amalia,
Yes.
hi.
So congratulations. You are this month's Eggie. Sorry, can you repeat that again?
She's not well. Because urgent, of course, it is important.
So, well, this will surely make you feel better, I hope. Alright, so Amalia, Deba, who was the last month's Eggie, has nominated you as the Eggie winner for May 2017.
Oh, how nice. How nice. It's nice to work with him. Yeah, how nice.
So,
And by the way, this is not stage managed for those people. Amalia is hearing for the first time. No, I said that this is not stage managed, Amalia. Meaning, it is a surprise for you as well.
Yeah, it is a very big surprise.
I'm just going to read out the citation which Deba sent for you.
Okay.
So, heartfelt congratulations, Amalia. Having learned of the call for nominations for this month's Eggie Award, I'm writing today to endorse a highly deserving colleague, Amalia Noel Ravello. In many ways, exceeding the challenging requirements and expectations of the award, Amalia's ambitions, intelligence, and accomplishments complement precisely the stellar community of past recipients and make her highly deserving of the honor and opportunity bestowed by the Eggie. Amalia is holding the position of Corporate Marketing Manager West, and she has been working with Save the Children for more than 4.5 years, serving through her sundry capacities. She has been very successful in building the corporate partnerships by establishing synergy and mutual respect through her utmost dedication. Amalia has proved herself instrumental to ensure the agile and innovative utilization of corporate relationships that contributes to deliver greater impact on the lives of children. Among many other incredible achievements, raising substantial corporate funds for the organization during emergency responses was very significant. She strongly believes in breaking the silos, and only by working together as one Save the Children can help to reach every last child. With this nomination, I extend my warm appreciation for Amalia and wish her more success in her future endeavors. Thanks and warm regards.
Wow.
I'm really touched.
So this is
Okay, there is an
certificate
award,
and
there is a certificate and a book,
and a book which will be coming your way soon.
which is the life story of Eglantine Gem.
Oh, wow, I love to read that book. I like biography.
Okay, great.
Okay, Amalia.
Thanks.
Congrats once again. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Okay.
All right. Now is the new joining. weddings and birthdays? And
We don't have any weddings that happen in June, but we do have some birthdays. N. Veera Reddy, Sandeep Kaushik, V. Smita, Manish Mathur, Sumita Kirti, Bobby Baby, Prerna Sharma, Arvind Krishnan, Shrikant, Kumar Nair, and Gadadhar Jewel. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong.
Joel.
Joel.
He also is a Jew.
Jewel.
He's a Jew, but his name is Joel.
Okay. And we have two new joinees, Bindu and Sonali Mukherjee. Can we please have them here? And Bindu is traveling, and Sonali Mukherjee, I know
Sonali.
she's here.
She represents all the new joinees of the last month.
We'd love to hear from you, Sonali. You can just give a brief description, brief introduction about yourself.
This is working?
Is this working? Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't really have much to say, except for the fact that I joined 2 days back, and I've been doing research for the last 20 years. Prior to this, I was with Indian Council for Social Science Research, doing a research on structural roots of gender violence. Basically, I've been working on gender for all these years, and I've had the opportunity to publish some of my work, present some of my work in international forums, and I think that's okay. And what else is to say?
So welcome, Sonali. And this is Sonali number 2. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
But you also will have to cut the cake.
Yeah. May I request all the birthday people to come forward and cut the cake? And if at all I've missed out on any of the names, please come forward. If you've joined or if you had your birthday in June, please come forward and cut the cake.
Come on, go ahead and cut the cake. You're the only one who can have the cake for the new guy.
ये इसको ऐसे पकड़ो काटो ना
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
हमारे लिए लेके आइए बस।